What's up, guys? It's Scarce here, back at you with another video. No, but today the topic of discussion is controller player versus mouse and keyboard player. So, this is not going to be a bunch of statistics and factual statements. It's going to be more my opinion on the subject. How I feel about controller players and mouse and keyboard players. In my opinion, I feel I'm not supposed to give my opinion, but in my opinion, these people, these mouse and keyboard people, being a bunch of bitches, okay? That's the only way I can put it, really. They're being pussies, because they have such an advantage using every button they can imagine using, so they can instantly scroll, wheel, reset. They can instantly swap to any weapon on a controller. You gotta press the buttons multiple. I'm not saying it's extremely difficult, but it's more difficult. Okay, you could always be more accurate and precise with the mouse than you could ever be with these little tiny sticks. It's so unfair to say how overpowered it is when it's really not. And they'll complain no matter what. First it was legacy, then it was, now it's linear, even though I use the basic default, which I'm pretty sure is exponential. But besides that, they just will complain about anything, and most of the time, not most of the, some of the time, it's mouse and keyboard players, and they're complaining that it's controllers. They're just finding an excuse for the reason why they died. In my opinion, being above average controller player, I'd much rather face a controller player on PC or console rather than a mouse and keyboard player. That's just my opinion. Much rather face that. Mouse and keyboard players, on average, the kids that I face that are mouse and keyboard are way better at editing and building, and usually are more accurate, especially in boss fight scenarios. So, I mean, I'd much rather face them, not face mouse and keyboard players. Now, what I think a solution could be is, just tell them to stop being pussies, okay? It's ridiculous. Like, I don't know how you think it's fair. If you look at the World Cup statistics, controller players should be complaining about mouse and keyboard players, okay? What is there, 3 people in the World Cup qualified on a controller? The rest of them are on mouse and keyboard. You see how fair of an unbalance that is? Now it would be closer to 50-50. It might sway one way or another, but it's a lot closer, which is more fair because controller players took longer to adapt, but are now finally really adapting to the scenario of using a controller and overcoming it. I mean, I don't know how you could say it's unfair for mouse and keyboard players, even though there would just be as many mouse and keyboard, if not more, than controller players if there was another World Cup again. I think it's more fair now, okay? I don't think there should be any changes to aim assist or bloom, even though they did decrease the amount of bloom on mouse and keyboard, but they still never mentioned that because, they just need an excuse when they die, when they get shit on. It's very irritating, especially with big content creators or professional gamers in the Fortnite community complain about, oh, it's controller players are OP, controller players are OP, controller players are OP. Now, I'm not saying these games in a great state in any way, shape, or form. I really want them to make a bunch of changes, add more rotation. Bring back some old rotation. I'm not saying they have to innovate. Just bring back old stuff. I don't even need innovation. Just bring back some old stuff. Rift to go. Shadow grenade. I don't know. Anything. Bouncers. Shockwaves. Anything. Please. Rifts. Anything. I will take anything. Because it's quite annoying rotating. Fish shouldn't be in the game. It's kind of a stupid mechanic. Like, it's OP as hell. It's nice, but, I mean, fishing shouldn't be in the game. Unless from, like, maybe small fry. But, like I said, I'm not saying the game is balanced gameplay-wise, but, like, for strictly mouse and keyboard aspect, I think they're being way too dramatic and they need to shut up. Now, I'm not saying that we need stronger aim assist. I'm just saying I think it's a pretty decently balanced for now. Like, I'm not saying it's easy to be a mouse and keyboard player and it's unfair for mouse and keyboard players to play. No, I'm not, and I never did. I'm just saying I felt like they always had an advantage because they're usually more talented at shooter games. Like, if controller people didn't have aim assist, it would be way too unfair. Like, I don't know. I guess it's just an excuse, but in the long term, if they actually did follow through with what you wanted, there'd be no controller people. Imagine Scoped would be out of the scene. People like that. I don't know. So if anyone ever does finally see any of these videos, it's probably like my 5th or 6th one or something, please drop a sub, comment, I don't know, watch a couple other videos. And, I don't know, hopefully someone eventually sees some of my videos, but I'm going to probably record a pro custom after this. Not pro custom, solo custom after this. So, tell me if you are my first viewer, my first subscriber, first liker, first disliker. I don't know, tell me if you're my first person to ever see my channel. Okay, this is the champ, and until next time, peace.